Hello everybody, and a very, very warm welcome back to the farm. I hope that your 2025 is getting off to a cracking start. If you've been with us since we came back from our little break over Christmas and New Year, you will know that we have been absolutely flat out. We've currently got 2 enormous projects running. The build of our big dream home, as well as the biopool, and trying to get that sorted before these winter rains come, which is any day now. So it's all just been a bit kind of everyone running in all different directions, but we're making incredible progress. So before we start today's episode and take you through the next bit of those jobs, I just wanted to ask one small favor, which is to please remember to check that you are subscribed to our channel. And if you're new, please hit that subscribe button and join us for this incredible journey, because this is going to be our biggest year yet. We've got Mario on the schedule to come and do some work for us, getting the next phase of that biopool done, and also getting some stuff done around the house project. But before any of that happens, I thought it would be useful for me to take you around the building site and give you a full rundown of exactly where we got to when we last left you, and also explain a little bit more about where everything's going to go in the house, what the layout is, what you can expect in the future as the house takes shape, so that you can visualize it with us as we take you through all of the ups and downs of this pretty incredible journey. Before we go onto the site itself, I wanted to remind you guys what the kind of overall vision is for how this house is going to look and feel from the outside, and also remind you all of the incredible tool that we're using to plan this entire project and every single project on the farm, and that's Milanote, who very kindly have sponsored another one of our episodes, but I genuinely don't know what we would be doing without them. Imagine a giant online pinboard where you can save ideas from wherever you find them online. If you want to save images, blogs, links, make to-do lists, make content plans, vision boards, whatever it might be, Milanote is the place to do that. I absolutely love it because we're spending a lot of time scouring the web looking for suppliers for different aspects of the house, and being able to just clip it using the Milanote clipper right onto our Milanote board is genius and makes things so much easier. So this board gives you a really good idea of the kind of look and feel we're going for the outside, the external part of the house. With the stonework, we want lots of greenery, lots of flowers, the colours we want of the shutters, and also how we've arranged our boards. So each of the different topics has got a different board associated to it. I've now started looking at different DIY projects that we can do. I've been collecting ideas of ways that we can bring the interior of the house to life with some fun home DIY projects, and I thought it would be a great time to share those with you guys, because maybe you, like me, want to have a more creative 2025. And it's also collaborative, so we've invited our architect to be part of it. I'm working with the illustrator on my children's book on Milanote. We are working with our little small newbies team on Milanote for all sorts of things and stuff. So it's just the most diverse tool, and you want to know what the best thing is? It's absolutely free. So if you use the link in our description below to download Milanote for free with absolutely no time limit, I promise you won't be disappointed. You'll love it as much as I do. I'm absolutely certain of that. So give it a go and let me know what you're working on this year. I would love to hear your creative ideas and plans. It's so inspiring, and yeah, I think we better get out there and go and have a look at the building site, shall we? So this is where we have got to, folks. We have got down here on our not garage. Let me just widen this view for you. There we go. So this is our not garage, right? The bit that we excavated out from the granite to make some storage space for us beneath the house. The guys have laid the cement slabs for the bottom, for the floor of that. And then they've now started on top of this brickwork to create channels on top of it between the structural pillars, where they're going to start laying the actual foundations for the actual house. My building terminology is pretty rubbish, so I'm really hoping that this is going to make sense. But basically, the house itself, so the first floor, so the ground floor and the first floor kind of float above this granite foundation that we have. And the reason they do that is because granite is, for lack of a better term, radioactive, and it releases a poisonous gas called radon. You don't want that coming into your house without kind of adequate airflow to make sure that it's flowing out again. So that is why we're building this house kind of floating on top of this granite rock on which it stands. All of this below me, these kind of channels that the guys are laying with the steels, are the start of that floating structure. They are the structural support. The block work in between is not structural. It's just filling in the gaps, right? And making the walls. but it's this kind of reinforced steel and cement that's going to be holding the whole house together. So let's wander into the building site really, really quickly, and I will see if I can give you some close-up looks at what's been going on and where the guys have got up to. They're just having their kind of morning sandwich and coffee break, so it's quiet, but they did have drills and all sorts of things out not that long ago, and I'm sure they'll be back just in a couple of minutes. So let's see what I can show you while they're kind of having a break. So here we are. These are the biggest parts of the foundation, the big structural pillars where they poured cement. These are the kind of most important structural elements, and coming out of these are these steel pillars which they're going to clad obviously and pour cement into, and those are where those are the kind of main structural supports of the house. So this is our back wall. There's going to be a door here, front door, and if you look over here, I'm very excited about this. They've just been this morning cutting out this foundational layout for our bay window, which is at the very back of the house. That bay window is at the back of what will be our living room, looking out at that view. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so from here you can see there's the stone house, just so everybody's got their bearings. Big, beautiful bay window, not garage. And along here, they've started laying more of these foundations. These have got steel work inside them, and soon they will be pouring more cement. And from here, building up the block work, that's going to make the inside of the house. And we've made amazing progress with these. Look how far we've got. I think tomorrow they'll probably have that cement mixer back on. The crane's spinning itself around again. And soon all of this will look like this. Now this is the front edge of our veranda. We're going to have a big covered veranda and those three beautiful big stone arches which go like that all the way along, and our kitchen in that far corner. So currently walking along what will be that beautiful covered terrace, which I'm so excited about. Behind me is a huge pile of stones which we took out from beneath the house, and I'll tell you more about the plan with those in a second, because I'm going to walk you all the way around the front of the building site and fill you in on a bunch of stuff that's been going on. As always, it's been really busy despite having had some time away, but you might notice that behind me, that's a view you've not seen before, and there's good reason for that. But the views up here have got even bigger and more immense. It wasn't an easy thing to do, but we've done it, and yeah, I'll tell you about it in a second. For now, let's just have a quick look at what's going on this last bit of side of the building site, and then we'll go for a little walk, and I've got a job to do behind here because tomorrow Mario's coming. There's the guys all getting ready to come back to work after their tea break. And if we wander down here, so this is the edge of the terrace. This is the kitchen, and underneath there, obviously, the not garage. I love that they built these little steps here so that we could access everything. But what these guys are doing down here, you can see where the... okay, wait, let me see how's the best I can show you guys this. I think a wide angle is better. So in the back there, you can see the block work going up around the edge of the cement floor. And if you stand here where I'm standing, you can see there's going to be obviously block work coming up here between these steel supports where the big pillars are that are going to hold the house up above me, right? I hope that's making sense. And below me here, you can see they've been drilling in little bars of rebar all along the edge of the house, and they've dug out an extra channel. And the reason they've done that is the most exciting part of the build for me, because that is where they're going to pour another channel of cement, and on top of that they're going to start laying those beautiful reclaimed stones which are going to fill pretty much the entire facade of the house, except for a few places which for the moment we're going to leave to render, but we'll see how it goes when it kind of comes to life. So that's super exciting. Those bits of rebar sticking out of the cement are what's going to hold those stones in place. The plan is that we're building all of the internal walls with block work so that we can insulate fully, make sure the house is nice and warm and dry. And then on the outside, we're going to be putting those beautiful reclaimed stones to give the house the look and feel of having been here for hundreds of years. There's a local house just around the corner from us which has the most amazing arrangement of gold and stone, and I want to take Eduardo and Joaquim up there in the next week or so to show them what we're envisaging, because it's really important to me that this house looks the way we've imagined it, you know, obviously. So I think the plan for the next week or so is to keep going with digging out these channels, putting these rebars in, getting things ready for the stone facades to go up, but also a lot of block work, getting all of the walls up What's really exciting for me is that up at the top there, they're starting to lay those channels so that we can then start putting in the beams and supports for the floating floor. Because once that floating floor is down, we can kind of walk on our house, which is epic, isn't it? What has really, really struck me is how high the house is going to be with that floating floor. When I stand up on that building site, there's red marks where the level of the floor is going to be. It comes up to my waist, which is crazy. So we're going to be really, really up high, especially with the upper floors. You know, it's like up in the trees is going to be the top floor of this house. Which is amazing, because what we've done recently is opened up so many of these views to just make the most of the incredible location that we've been fortunate enough to be building our house on. Now, very quickly behind me is the wood from that beautiful old oak tree that we cut down, which we were so sad about. And behind me over there is the beautiful red oak, which Deer Plant brought us just before the closing of last year. While Claudio was here, we had that amazing walk around with him where he gave us a whole heap of advice on how to landscape the farm, and we have got so many big plans to just keep kind of working on this property and making it as magical as it possibly can be. So watch this space, because there's heaps more work with Deer Plant coming. We are so fortunate to have them as our kind of landscaping advisors, and yeah, if you guys, anybody wants their contacts, just give us a shout, because we can get you in touch, no problem at all. So one of the things we were talking to Claudio about a lot was the health of our trees and the trees that we have on the farm. You guys know that we love trees, and I really, really hate cutting trees down. So some of the stuff that he had to say was really inspiring and exciting, and some of it was kind of really sad to hear, but necessary. And then you may or may not, the more observant of you in our videos, notice the big change behind me. So over here, and a little bit further up, there used to be 2 oak trees. Now, they were not the healthiest of oaks. They were really quite spindly. And actually, once we had cut them down, which is what we've done, we realized that half of them were dead anyway. So Claudio spoke to us about the aspect of the house, the views from the house, and the fact that we actually don't really want trees very close to the house, because if we have high winds and storms, obviously the last thing you want is to have built a beautiful big house and then have a giant tree fall on it. The other thing that Claudio suggested was on the front of this house, on the front of this hill here, we've got a beautiful cork oak. Portugal produces around 50% of the world's cork, and the cork oak is protected here in Portugal. You're not allowed to cut them down. And we are so lucky, because they are my favorite trees, to have a beautiful cork oak right in front of our house. And in about 20-50 years time, that is going to be the most magnificent tree. So we made the decision to take down a few of the oak trees around it. There's one remaining one, which I'll talk to you about in a second, but that's really opened up this cork oak for us to enjoy, which is amazing. We've done half of what Claudio suggested. We're going to sit with it for a bit, see how it feels, and if we feel we still need to take down the other 3, then we'll do that when the time is right. So yeah, that's what we've done. We've been opening up views, which is why up there you could see that side view, which we've not ever been able to really appreciate properly. And here now at the Hobbit house, this is where John's taken down another couple of oaks. This last one is the one we need to make a decision on. There's the cork oak, and this is the other oak which we need to make a decision on. But if we took that down, we would have the most amazing view of that cork oak, and it would be there in all its glory. So what would you do? Let me know. Behind me, John and Gerard have been super busy cleaning this up and organising the wood. So there's some smaller pieces. And then all of this stuff, which I think is going to go down to the biopool terrace to burn the bamboo roots, which we've been lifting to try and get rid of that bamboo. And here are some big logs which need to be moved by either Mario or Agostinho with his tractor in the next week or so, over to where they can be loaded onto Mario's truck and taken to the sawmill to be made into planed planks, which we can then use for projects around the farm. Oh, phew. Okay, that's been a lot of talking. I hope you're following and you know where we're at with everything. Anyway, the job I need to do right now is important, because tomorrow Mario is coming with his digger to help us finish the landscaping down on the bottom terrace in order so that we can put the liner in on the biopool. That's been a long time coming, honestly. We are so keen to get that flipping liner in so that we can keep moving forward with the project. But we haven't been able to do that until Mario had come to lift the bamboo, to flatten out the terrace, to backfill the biopool. He also needs to move these rocks. And the plan with that is, I think, he's going to come up. The road to the biopool is behind me over there. I think he's going to be coming up and down this terrace, grabbing these enormous rocks and taking them down to the biopool terrace to reinforce the bank around the side of the biopool, and to make sure that we've got them in place to be able to use, right? Anyway, they are massive. And along this terrace, we've got these very, very old concrete grapevine posts. And we have all of our vines, which we planted a couple of years ago. Now, the plan is, well, we have to, in order to be able to access this side of the building site, we need to take these posts down. So my plan now is to cut all of these wires. They're all connected by wires which traditionally hold the grapevines. My plan is to cut all of those down. And once that's done, John is going to come and see if he can push over these cement posts. We'll then get them taken away. We need to dig up the vines, especially in the bit where Mario is going to be driving. Might not have to happen today, but it is going to need to happen. And our thinking is that we're going to move all of the vines down onto this terrace behind me, which is the new terrace that we purchased in the middle of last year. And we're going to make that into a little vineyard. So instead of having the vines all around the edges of our terraces, which actually don't get that much sun, we're going to move them and have a vineyard. So, whew, how's that for an update? I hope that was easy to follow and not too full on. Anyway, I suppose it's enough talking and more working required. So let me get you guys set up on a tripod so you can hang out with me while I do it. John's in the office doing a bit of computer work. I'm going to cut these wires back and we'll see where we get to. And then tomorrow morning, Mario will be here. I've just come up here to the chickens because we bought these beautiful little silkies at the end of last year. But silkies don't like to get wet. They're not allowed to get wet. Because their feathers are more, there they are, aren't they sweet? Their feathers are more like human fur than feathers. They don't have the same waterproof oil as most birds. Anyway, they look like they know what they're doing and they're going to go inside. But I did bring our old cot in here with a broken sheet from the greenhouse, just to try and give them a bit of extra shelter from the rain if it comes really quickly, so they can get under places. Anyway, hopefully they'll be all right. I'm sure they'll be fine. Right, well, that's a good excuse for a cup of tea, I think. Whew.
Station of bamboo choking both sides of the farm. We needed a lot of help.
Hi, love. How are you getting on?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, what's up with you?
I cut myself.
Okay.
And it's raining.
Yeah.
Do you want to swap?
What?
Can I edit?
I'm editing. I'm enjoying it.
I know, but it's warm in here. It's so cold today. It's really like cloudy, cold and rainy.
You see what happens? I'm in the middle of a genius edit and my wife comes in and is likely around about now about to start stealing my thunder. Look at this, folks. It was going to be very, very good.
Mm-hmm. It is going to be very, very good.
So,
So I've started cutting the wires. I've done like one pole.
okay.
I can carry on, but I just thought I'd check and see if you wanted to swap.
Who out there knows that I can carry on actually means you go do it and I'll do the editing. Everybody knows that. You know, it's like when you come up to me and say, John, Sawyer's done a poo.
Passive, like it's hinting. Isn't it? Passive aggressive hinting.
No. Okay, all right. So I'll leave you to an edit.
Okay.
To continue this. It's almost finished.
It's not. It's got a long way to go.
And I'll go and do the manual labour.
All right. Thank you. Lovely.
All
Bye.
right. See you. Hello, Obi. Are you coming with me? I suppose that's an absolute no then. I'd rather just be with Mum. Oh no.
Sorry, I win. Bye.
All right. What I know is that this morning, Tara and I were walking around the farm looking at what needs to be done. Mario's coming. He's on his way. But we've got work to do before he gets here. In order to move the boulders right there, Tara's probably already talked you through all this. In order to move the boulders over here, we've got to get rid of this. And actually, she hasn't done anything really. Okay, all right. Leave it with me, folks. Here we go.
How is it? Is it?
It's a bit fresh, but it's all right.
Nice.
Oh, that's really nice.
Oh, over you big wimp.
Come on, then, Obi. What are you doing?
Best lunch break ever.
Come on. Like, are you kidding me? No way.
It's really, really cold.
You see what they're doing?
I don't understand it.
All right, Tara and I have just come back from a nice walk and a swim.
It was lovely. Very, very, very cold. Very cold. But what are they doing? I don't understand.
So, I think they're using a pipe instead of a laser. And I think they're doing it with water. So inside that pipe is water. And when they're trying to find a level, they're doing this with a water pipe, and the water's going up and down on each side. And then when it's the same level, they know it's the same level. So here's the water level right here. Come look. So there's the water level on that pipe. And we're putting it, where are we putting it? Against that. Okay, now we're getting the other level over the other end with the pipe.
That's very cool.
There you go. Look, we've got a marker here. He's just trying to get that level. Let me take that. Okay. You see that water level? Okay. Okay, and let's go over here. And now we're marking at this end where the level is, because the water is telling us. So now that height over there is exactly the same as that height right there.
Yeah, it is a prehistoric system. It works though.
Yeah.
It's a prehistoric system.
Yeah, that's it. But it's good.
There you have it.
All right, shall we get back to it? Are you editing?
Yes.
And well, Mario's coming, isn't he?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Donnie, you look gorgeous when you've got flushed cheeks.
Oh, thanks, love. I feel a bit tired.
It's
That was a lot. We have it's really hilly where we walk, so there's a lot of kind of it's quite physically demanding, isn't it? And then a minus 45-degree swim.
That's it.
Yes, all right, dog.
And we can't film it, can we?
No, because I get to take my swimming costume all the time.
We forget swimwear.
Not appropriate for YouTube.
No,